Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Damsel in Success podcast. Happy Labor Day. Hope everybody had an awesome day. Got to spend at least a little bit of time with your family today. Mowed the yard and cleaned the house, and I'm cooking, and y'all, I looked a hot mess. So I went and got in the shower, and that's what y'all are getting right now, is some wet hair and no makeup. So that's like a sneak peek of the getting ready with me video that y'all will see soon. This is what you got to look forward to right here. Uh, but anyway, wanted to dive into today's episode. So we are in part 3 now of the Divorce Diaries. And I want to talk about some dating do's and don'ts. So, of course, each person is different, and this is not like an end-all be-all to dating or anything like that. And I don't want you guys to take it as that. But I just want to, and by all means, I ain't what's a Cupid? I forgot the daggum name. I ain't no Cupid by no means, but I want to just share with you guys what I've learned in my right at 4 years of being single. So, first thing is, don't rush into it. Do not rush into it, whether you're feeling like that you need to rush into it, or if somebody is pressuring you to rush into it. Because I don't know if you guys have dealt with that, but I've dealt with friends, family, all the time trying to set me up with somebody, or saying, oh, well, you need to be with somebody. You need a boyfriend. You need a husband. You, for whatever reason. And I'm like, why though? Like, sometimes you just, it's not mandatory to be married. It's not mandatory to have somebody. Is it nice? Yeah, in some cases if you have the right person. But if you're not ready, do not rush. I don't care. You're gonna catch it from all sides. People trying to ask you why you're not dating. Or, my favorite one is, your clock is ticking. For what? Like, what clock and what's it ticking down to? Like, I might be excited. I don't know. It's just crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I think that, instead of us constantly having to chase a significant other, I truly believe that if we seek God first, He will put us together. He'll, whoever our soulmate is, we'll come together eventually if it is in God's plan. But, I've tried to explain this to friends and family before, that, sometimes there's more to life than just chasing your next boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife or whatever. There's a lot of times whenever you may have some toxic traits within yourself that you need to fix, that you need to address, not only for, whoever your soulmate or whatever is, but for yourself. I mean, you carrying around those burdens and those toxic traits and everything, they're detrimental to you and to everybody that you come into contact with. So if you don't have those handled, you ain't ready to date. I'm just telling you right now. Get that under control, and then get yourself out there. There's nothing wrong with dating, but please have the right mindset behind it. And then also, for those of us who have children, please be very, very careful with who that you are bringing into your kids' lives, because there's a lot of times, like if kids have went through divorce, or if kids have went through a difficult breakup between their parents, or whatever the case may be, you don't want to introduce more trauma into their lives. You don't want to introduce more toxic relationships into their lives. That's not fair. That's not cool for anybody to have to deal with. So just be very, very careful, because back before you had kids, you could go out and date whoever and do this and do that and whatever. But now that you have kids, you have to think about somebody other than yourself whenever you're dating. Make sure, is this person going to be a good fit? Is this person, willing to accept my kids? And I know that seems crazy, but there's people out there that just do not want anything to do with kids. And that's fine. But they're not the person for you if you have kids. Okay? Your kids were there with you first. You need to, those children need to be your first priority. I'm just going to leave it at that. If there's any questions, y'all holler. But kids first. And then also, I think, kind of back to what I was saying earlier, if there is, like right now, I'm being called to lead a singles ministry. And is that going to be a, hating on married people or man-hating seminar or whatever? Absolutely not. That's not what I want you guys to get out of any of this. I just want you to know that if you're being called to do something else, if you have no interest in dating, maybe it's because God's not ready to put you with anybody yet. Maybe you have another calling that you need to do while you're single. Because there's a lot of things that you can experience yourself, and you can grow and get to know yourself. Because how can you really go out and find your soulmate if you really don't know anything about yourself? If you've spent the past several years in a toxic relationship and you kind of lost yourself in and amongst all that, how in the world are you going to get out here in the dating world and say, well, I like this and I don't like that? How can you know if you don't know yourself? I'm just saying, you have to be in touch with yourself. You have to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your everything. What your y'all know. Everybody's got triggers too. I don't care what you say, but if I hear somebody smacking, I'm gonna lose it. That's my trigger. So I've prayed. I'm like, Lord, please help me forgive the smackers, and I just can't do it, y'all. So if you're a smacker, we're not gonna get married. I'm just telling you right now, it's just not gonna happen. Uh, you guys have to think about things like that. Make sure that you're compatible with whoever that you're with, because if you're going to go out and really make a commitment to somebody, it's not fair to you or them if you're not ready, if you don't know what you truly want. Because the last thing that you want to, you've worked so hard to get yourself out of a toxic relationship. The very last thing that you want to do is get right back into another one. So, if you guys get anything from this, please just hear me. Just pray about it. Pray for, God to, if you're wanting to date, have him to work on you and work on yourself, and that way you can really be ready. And then have him bring somebody to you. You don't have to go chasing anybody, because I think there's a lot of times that we end up with people just because we're so scared to be by ourselves. If we're scared to have to experience life alone, but the thing is, you're never really alone. You've always got God. And there's some cases where whatever spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever that you have may be getting in the way of that relationship with you and God. And that's just not going to fly, y'all. You can't have that. That's, that may be what happened in the last toxic relationship. And it's kind of funny that it tends to repeat itself. So maybe if you went through that as a kid, and then you went through it as an adult, and then you just keep going through it, it's time to break that cycle, not just for you, but for your kids. And, if you just keep God in the center of everything that you're doing, and you quit, just dating out of fear, out of, trying to not be alone, I promise y'all, it's being a single mother is no walk in the park sometimes. It's really difficult, but if I can do it, you absolutely can. Where there's a will, there is a way, and y'all know that. Y'all know that if you want it bad enough, you will find a way to make it happen. And I can tell you right now that being a single mother is 1,000,000 times easier than being in the wrong relationship. Okay? That's just leaving that extra weight. That's got it gone. Bye, Felicia. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope that you guys got something out of this episode. Just please be very, very conscious of who that you're dating, and don't date out of fear, because it can, a relationship built with Christ in the center can be a really beautiful thing, and it can be really, really awesome. And as humans, we're meant to be with other people. Like we're destined for that compatibility. But if it's not your time, don't force it, because that's just going to make things 1,000,000 times worse. So wait it out. Your time is coming for you. I promise you now. If I can do anything in the world for you, if you need to just talk, I can listen. I can give you advice, whatever you need. I'm more than happy to help you. And you guys stay tuned for my like I said, I'm starting the singles ministry, hopefully in a month or so. So y'all just keep an eye out for some updates on that, and then we'll try to get like a Facebook group or something together for that. But anyway, I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your Labor Day, and we'll talk to you again soon.